the heck to make 24 hours feel like 72? Most people don't need more time. They just don't know how to actually experience and make proper use of the time they already have. Because 24 hours can feel like a full and long day, or it could feel like it disappeared in minutes. Same time, different outcome. Everything comes down to how your brain is processing your day without even realizing it. Now, before we get into these systems, you need to understand something. Your time isn't broken, your perception and use of it is. Now, there's a reason why days can feel like they pass by so quickly and you didn't do the work you wanted to do. Every single night comes around and you're just thinking, I wish I could have done more. So you work and try to catch up through the night, and then you sleep late, and then you wake up late, and then you start with this disadvantage. And then the cycle just repeats itself. Now, after watching this full video, you will have a completely different and warped perception of time, so you can finally start to progress way faster than everybody else. So you can achieve your 5-year goals in one single year. Now put this video on full screen to maximize your attention span, and let's go to part number 1. I just wanted to let you know that I built a free 7-day protocol, which is a blueprint that includes the 3 pillars of discipline. You can download it below and I explain more about that later. Part 1. The perception of time. Your brain doesn't measure time directly, it actually just measures how many new and meaningful experiences have passed. So that is why 24 hours could feel like the most productive, the most amazing day, versus another 24 hours, another day, could feel like the most boring, the most unproductive, and you just procrastinated, and the most like time wasted day. Now, the reason why you could have 2 days which are the same amount of time, the same 24 hours, but one day just feels so amazing and one day just feels so bad. It's just that novelty creates more memories, so it sticks in your brain for longer. Every time you have a new experience and you take a new action and you do the work in half the time and you're twice as productive, and you think and you approach your work in a different way and you approach everything about your life differently, you are breaking out of the autopilot loop that has been holding you back. Because if you think about it, if you do things the same way you always have, if you think the same way you always have, then you will get the same result. When you are in your routine, when you are just in autopilot mode, time flies by so quickly because your brain just like compresses the time, because it just knows and it anticipates everything that you're gonna do, when you're gonna have lunch, when you're gonna procrastinate, when you're gonna scroll, and all of your bad habits and all of the things that are your distractions, the things that are holding you back. Your brain just knows when you're going to do them, and it has this cue trigger loop. Time management is everything. You need it to build and scale your income, build your physique, achieve the life that you don't need to escape from. Any possible and tangible metric of success requires time management, because you could easily go through 6 years of life procrastinating, wasting time, scrolling, and you only actually made like a year of progress in that whole 6 years. Now, you don't want to be the guy that looks back on their life and thinks in regret, I wish I could have done more, and they know that they just wasted time. You don't want to waste time, because when you look back, you'll realize how valuable time is. Time is everything. Time is of the essence. So to manage your time, you need discipline. So if you want to build towards actual, fundamental, and sustainable success, then you are going to need relentless time management. Now let's talk about how attention shapes time. You see, there's a reason why scrolling for 2 hours feels like 10 minutes. And there's also a reason why working for 30 minutes can sometimes feel like 4 hours. The reason is because you need to enter the flow state, right? We all know when we've entered the flow state before, you just sit at your desk and then hours go by and it's almost like you snapped through time and you just achieved everything you wanted to achieve. You did the work, you were productive, and time just flies, right? The reason why that happens is because you are in a focused flow state. And when you're in that flow state, time just flies, it just disappears. So to properly manage your time so you can make 24 hours feel like 72, which would mean eventually that you achieve in 1 year what it would otherwise take you 3 years to achieve. You're essentially increasing your productivity by 3 times. You're achieving 3 times more. And as a result, you're getting 3 times more results. 3 times more money, more success, more life, more purpose. Now, the reason this works is because if you dial your inputs, you will change the output, right? You can't change the output, but you can put in more things, better things, higher quality inputs into the equation to get the better outputs that you want. If you want a nice mansion, a nice house, a nice penthouse, a high rise, or you want a GT3 RS, or you want a Rolex Submariner, whatever like material outcomes you want, or maybe you just want freedom, or like everything your heart desires, right? All the success on the other side, you can't just spawn those things. You need to put in the work that is going to lead to the outcome that is then going to allow you to have those things, right? What success looks like to you could be a combination and a mix of materialistic things, non-materialistic things, freedom, life, purpose, family, friends, relationships. But all those things, they come down to literally, what do you do with your time? How do you spend every single minute of your time? You see, most people don't analyze their time in the minutes. They analyze their time in months. They ask themselves, what did I achieve in these 6 months? Instead of asking, what did I do from this minute to this minute. And that's where everything changes, you see. If you do things the same way that 99% of people do things, then you're gonna get 99% of the results. You're gonna live the same life as the 99%. So ask yourself, if you wanna live the top 1% life, people who have the money, the success, the freedom, the life, the purpose, the relationships, the family, everything, right? Everything. To live that extraordinary life, you need to take extraordinary actions and you need to take extraordinary measures. And that starts with diving deep into how you spend your time. So in part number 2, I'm going to give you tangible steps that you can implement, plug and play into your life so you can change the perspective and change your time management. So take out a pen and paper, get ready to take notes, and let's go to part number 2. The 72-hour effect system. This is a completely new and innovative concept. Instead of managing time, I'm gonna want you to do this. Instead of managing time, you stretch it by alternating your states. You see, you need to work hard and play hard. You know, you need the contrast in your life. You can't just work from morning till night and then repeat the process. That is not sustainable. That is not gonna lead to essential time management. But instead, you wanna properly balance and switch and practice switching between work and rest. Practice switching between social and solitude, between high stimulation and zero stimulation. There is a time for everything, but you need to master the skill of being able to switch from, you know, you're working, you're super focused, to then going and like clearing your mind and going out with friends and hanging out and just not even thinking about work. Because what happens a lot of time, and you think this is a good thing, but like you're at work and you're thinking about when you're gonna go hang out with friends. And then when you're hanging out with friends, you're just thinking about the work you could be doing right now. So the more contrast your day has, the longer it feels in hindsight, which means that you're gonna need the contrast. You're gonna need to have a day that is not just like one-sided, but a day that is multi-sided. A multifaceted day where you woke up, you did your morning routine, your habits, you meditated, you read, you journaled, and then you go and do deep work. And then you're so focused, you're in the flow state, you're doing everything that you have to do. And then you have a healthy lunch, and then you go to the gym, and then you do some more deep work, and then you hang out with friends, and then you come back, and then you watch a movie maybe, and then you continue, and you read, and then you do the habits. And you just have, like, your life is complete. You need time expansion through contrast to make your days feel longer, because if your days feel longer, you are going to achieve more. The reason why it seems like you just can't stay on top of your work, time goes by and you didn't achieve as much as you wanted to, that is because time feels like it's flying by. So you want to slow time down. You want to make the days feel longer and longer, because that's going to allow you to analyze, assess more, to have a better vision of what you're doing, how you're spending your time, and your time management. Number 2 here is planning and marking your day intentionally. 2 things to break the autopilot mode. Number 1 is plan tomorrow today. Every single night, you want to take out a journal and just plan tomorrow. Write a to-do list of 5 to 10 things that you have to do tomorrow to make it a successful day. That is one thing. Another thing is, when you wake up in the morning, check the to-do list and write down the things that you want to achieve. You could also do this the morning of the day, where you just structure your day on the same day. Now, you want your day to feel structured and not blurry. You see, if your day feels blurry, it's like you're just going to end up procrastinating and time is going to go by and you achieve nothing. So instead, you are going to want to just have this structure that makes procrastination feel hard, that makes wasting time feel negative. So one important thing is create structure, create deadlines, create proper intention, so that like you know exactly what you have to do when you have to do it, right? Your deep work block is 3 hours long, and in that deep work block, you just do X, Y, and Z. You don't do anything else. And then you have your gym block, and then you have the second deep work block, and then you have your habit block, and you just have these like blocks and the structure that makes everything better. Now, number 3 is daily environment setting. You see, when you're at the gym, you are going to work out. When you're at the pool, you are going to swim. When you are at the restaurant, you are going to eat. You need like, okay, you're gonna do this, you're in this place, you're in this environment, you're gonna do this action. You need to force yourself into environments every single day that force you to do just one thing. Environments where it's impossible to get distracted, impossible to do anything else. If you have a bad habit of distracting yourself playing video games and scrolling while you're supposed to work, then instead take your laptop and go to a cafe and work there. In a cafe, you can't get distracted, you can't play video games, and you can't scroll. If you don't spend enough time with yourself because you're always at home working, then leave your phone at home and go outside for a walk, because when you're outside for a walk without your phone, the only thing you can do is walk and enjoy the nature, enjoy the peace, take deep breaths, and enjoy yourself. But obviously, if you have your phone in your pocket, then you could walk and check your phone and talk to somebody and respond to a message. You could walk and check Instagram, and now you have, because your environments are connected, now you have so many things you can do. You want to make your environments, every single environment, in such a way that you can only do one thing. The more options your brain has, the more likely it is going to choose one or the other. So what you're going to want to do essentially is like make very simple environments. Your desk and work environment, has to be designed in such a way that the only thing you can do is work. The only thing you can do is be productive. Because anything else is going to lead to distraction, wasting time, procrastinating, and not achieving the things you want to achieve. So if you like this content and you are serious about time management and discipline and becoming the best version of yourself, then subscribe to this channel. Part number 3, what's actually controlling your day? You see, routines and habits are controlling your day. And a lot of the times, most of the time, these habits and routines are probably bad habits, bad routines, and no control. For example, I used to literally not be able to fall asleep if I didn't watch 2 episodes of a movie, TV show, or series, or something like that, like watch something. I couldn't sleep. I would just feel that I didn't wind down properly unless I did that thing, unless I watched series. I mean, that is a limiting belief. Now I could just go to sleep off a whim. I don't have to do anything before I go to sleep. In fact, I just read and then I sleep. Now, one thing we have to understand is the comfort impulse. Now, your brain is always going to seek comfort. That's just the hardwired default network mode of the brain. Comfort is a signal to your brain for survival, and from a biological point of view, your brain is always going to want to survive, of course. So it's going to seek comfort. It is going to reward naturally whatever is easiest right now. So it's always going to push you towards comfort and not progress. And if you don't reverse that, if you don't actually work towards changing this network and rewiring your mind so you can be the high performance individual you want to be, then you're just going to live a life where you're comfortable way too much. You're just like scrolling too much. You're wasting your time. You're playing video games. You're doing all these bad habits and you just have no confidence, because confidence comes from evidence, right? If you're wasting your time and you say something and you do something else and you just don't have this self-evidence that you can keep your promises, then how are you going to have confidence? And that is going to affect all areas of your life negatively. So that is why discipline is so important, and that's why all I do is talk about discipline and improving your life and habits. Because to be that version of yourself that you want to be, you are just going to have to do those things. And I say this all the time, but your phone is messing with your brain. It's just like always there. It's always in your pocket. It's always on the desk. It's always like just like next to you on your bed, and it's always just buzzing and beeping and like notifications coming in, and like you're in the middle of tasks so many times and you just like have the notification and you just pick up your phone, and you just, these micro distractions are really ruining your ability to focus as well as your time management. So disable all of your phone notifications. You shouldn't be receiving notifications from Instagram, from like Snapchat, from all these apps. You don't need the notifications. Like, check your phone once a day and respond to messages then. For most applications, you don't need notifications, right? Nothing is gonna happen if you turn off notifications. Put your phone on do not disturb and put your phone on airplane mode at night, an hour before you go to bed, and 3 hours after you wake up. Keep it on airplane mode the next day and then switch it back off. Because if you don't take control of your life, somebody else will, right? There is somebody else out there who's working harder than you, who has more time management than you, who's making more money than you, who has a better business, a better life, better relationships, because they're just putting in the time. They're putting in the effort. And that version of you, there's a person, the version of you out there that can step into your shoes right now and operate your life at a way higher level. Just think about that thought for a second. Some random guy out there can just theoretically come and step into your shoes right now, and your business would be making more money. You would be living a better life. Your relationships would be better. You would have more money. You would just be a better person and be more successful. Think about that. With what you're working with right now, you could have more success just because of performance, just because you're not operating at the version of yourself at the level that you know you should be. And that is where awareness comes in. You need to be aware of how you're spending your time, if you're wasting time, of your habits. Awareness is key, because awareness creates the space that you need to change, right? If you're not aware of something, then you can't make a change. But if you're aware and you're like, no, okay, you notice something, then you can make a change and you can fix it. Awareness is so important, but it's also not everything. So if you want to have more time and build more discipline, so you can achieve a life of freedom, a life of impact and purpose, so you can make the money you know you deserve, so you can have the physique that you want, so you can build your life and be successful as you want to be. If that sounds like you, then click the link below and download the Discipline Protocol right now. And also, don't just download it and forget about it. Actually go through it and study the systems that are there, because that is going to change your life. Now remember, a bad workout always beats a skipped one. Take care, and you got this.